Shout out to Marvin Montanaro for bringing us this article from thatparkplace.com. Please visit the site, read the article for yourself there. Visa and Mastercard continue to support Roblox, censoring adult games on Steam while funding a playground. Despite reportedly forcing platforms like Steam to eliminate legal-oriented games, Visa and Mastercard continue to support Roblox despite numerous reports of using it to reach the most vulnerable. When gamers noticed hundreds of titles suddenly vanish from Steam and itch.io this summer, the explanation didn't come from Valve or indie developers, it came from the banks. Payment processors Visa and Mastercard, working in tandem with advocacy pressure, forced platforms to eliminate certain kinds of content or risk losing the ability to process transactions altogether. Let it sink in. It's a canary in the coal mine. The move sparked a storm of backlash from developers and the free speech advocates who decried the practice as financial censorship. Yet even as Visa and Mastercard take a hard line against legal only games designed for consenting players, they continue to process billions in payment for Roblox, a platform that has become a subject of lawsuits, attorney general investigations, and damning media exposés for its safety failures. Free schlep. The contrast is stark, and it raises uncomfortable questions about money, morality, and selective enforcement. The Steam crackdown. In late July, The Guardian confirmed that thousands of titles disappeared from Steam and itch.io after Collective Shout, an Australian lobby group, boasted of persuading Visa and Mastercard to cut off financial support for platforms hosting games with specific themes. Steam updated its rules to prohibit content that might offend payment processors, while itch.io quickly de-indexed entire swaths of content to keep its storefront alive. Yeah, why using a scalpel when you can use a machete and swathing through your library? Mastercard has since denied involvement in this purge, but the platform themselves refuted this. Mastercard has not evaluated any game or required restrictions of any activity on game creator sites and platforms contrary to media reports and allegations. Our payment network follows the standards based on the rule of law, but simply we allow all lawful purchases on our network. At the same time, we require merchants to have appropriate controls to ensure Mastercard cards cannot be used for unlawful purchases content. It got community noted into oblivion. Rightfully so. Developers, including pride-centric creators, argued the purge was overly broad. Yeah, it's swathing with the machete. Games with artistic or narrative significance were lumped in with the most extreme material. PC Gamer reported that the rule changes were less about law and more about keeping Visa and Mastercard happy. For smaller studios, the message was chilling. If the banks disapprove, your game may disappear. Again, canary in a coal mine. This is the rule Steam updated. Rule 15. It includes the payment processes. And why is it a slippery slope? It always starts with mature content, and then they need laws for the mature content to regulate it because I guess there are no parents. And then we can have this. Firefighter who was arrested after criticizing his bosses online, written on the 16th of August, so 4 days ago, when this video was recorded, updated on the 17th of August. Police used Orwellian powers to gag a firefighter who was arrested after criticizing his bosses online. It has been claimed. Robert Moss was allegedly told by Staffordshire police that his right to freedom of expression must be limited to maintain public safety and order after he was arrested on suspicion of malicious communications on July 8. You can read the entire article to the very end. The link is in the description below. But this is the quiet part out loud. This is the quiet part out loud. And I made some statements on X at the beginning of August. My video recommendations: V for Vendetta, a classic starring Hugo Weaving and Natalie Portman, another movie that aged perfectly like Demolition Man and Idiocracy over the past 32 years. When do you roll out the social credit scores? Asking for a friend, because China is, not China, the UK orientates themselves on China right now a little bit. And then, let's hear this.
We've had free speech for a very, very long time here, so we're very proud of that.
And I'm a non-native English speaker, so I asked Mr. Starmer to elaborate a little bit, like, please could you elaborate, Mr. Keir Starmer? We have had. It indicates the past with a bit of it transcending into today. We've had a great time and a sliver is still present, or we have had enough of this and our patience has run out. I have still no answer from Mr. Starmer about this topic. And now we go to the Roblox crisis. Contrast with Roblox. The platform builds itself as a family-friendly creative space, yet lawsuits and investigations paint a much darker reality. The first time I came in contact with Roblox in general was with the Free Schlep movement, because it ended up in my newsfeed. I had no idea about Roblox. I had no idea about this whole ecosystem. I watched some content creators after I got curious about it, and I saw the furry servers in their videos, and the mustache man was running around in the videos. And in the stream, people told the streamer who streamed it that it's the cleaned up version already from Meep City, I guess. So, yeah. The Louisiana Attorney General sued Roblox in August, citing years of failed moderation and weak age verification. This is how the Online Safety Act came into place with the age verifications, because parents are non-existing. And man, children are smart. They figure it out with the photo mode from Death Stranding 2. They're way smarter than you think. But here comes the restrictions, the government restrictions into place, and this is the slippery slope, I'm afraid. Families across the US are filing suits alleging children were or even after encounters on Roblox. In one case, a 10-year-old girl in California was she met in the game. Wired reported the cases of linked to Roblox exploded from 675 in 2019 to more than 24,000 In 2024, the platform's attempt to reform AI tools, ID verification, and experience restrictions have done little to stem the tide. Investigators argue the company prioritizes monetization over safety while continue to loopholes. Like always. Companies failing because they prioritize money. Match made in heaven. The double standard. On Steam, adults buying themed games face financial censorship dictated by payment companies. On Roblox, where systematic failures have allowed real children to be. Visa and Mastercard remain silent. They continue to greenlight every Roblox purchase, every premium subscription, and every branded tie-in, despite lawsuits and Attorney General complaints. Let it sink in. The inconsistency exposes a dangerous double standard. Adults lose access to legal games because they might offend a credit card company brand guidelines, while children remain at risk on a platform that brings in billions. Why it matters? The selective enforcement raises pressing questions. Is this really about morality? Or is it about money? Steam's games are niche, easy targets. Roblox, by contrast, is one of the most lucrative ecosystems in gaming. I had no idea what Roblox was till 2 weeks ago, I guess. Or since the schlep thing exploded online. With billions flowing through Visa and Mastercard every year, cutting off Roblox would be financially painful. For Visa and Mastercard. The result is a system where adult players are censored, but children remain exposed to. Visa and Mastercard act as judge and jury for creative expression, yet turn a blind eye when their financial partners face allegations of enabling on a massive scale. Conclusion. Visa and Mastercard's actions reveal more than corporate caution. They expose a moral hypocrisy, clamping down on games while continuing to support a platform accused in court of failing to protect children. The contrast is indeceivable. If payment processors like Visa and Mastercard want to wield the power to police content, then they cannot ignore Roblox. Until they apply the same scrutiny to the platform where children are genuinely at risk, their interventions will look less like principled oversight and more like selective censorship driven by money. Shout out to Marvin Montanaro from thatparkplace.com bringing us this article. Have a great day.